It's me, Kirsty. This is part 1.1, really, not part 2. I was looking at the map for Susan Powell today really closely, and I honed in a few things, and I thought it was really important to actually go to some very specific spots. I mean, it is not as though she's going to be dug up and reburied. There's really no secret that she's been looked for, and I think it's important that I show all the places, so I'm going to do that now. But I'm going to show you a reason why I have chosen the specific places, but also the furthest mileage and distance outwards. Okay, so just cutting to the chase here. This is Susan's last seen chart by her friend. Now, I'm just going to point out what I see that stands out the most. 22 degrees. So those that watch my work know that I use angles mainly for mileage. In this case, there's actually a lot of planets that also back up the mileage outwards. Now, the IC, it is at 2132 of Leo. Now, when it's above 30, we can round it to 22. So that's that one. Then the North Node, 2136, rounded to 22. The MC, once again, rounded. Jupiter, rounded to 22. Chiron to 22. And Uranus is at 22 degrees. So, bear with me 1 second. That is the mileage to the stop that he made at Bliss Rest area. It exactly coincides with the 22, 220 miles out. Okay, so I wanted to show that was really important, that the 22 was obviously repetitive and standing out. If you watched the other video, you'll know that the ruler of the suspect is Jupiter, and Jupiter is also at 22 degrees, but we've got 21, this area here, of Aquarius. Going back to the map, that is exactly, whoops, a daisy, sorry, exactly where the GPS pings were that when the police put it on his car. The stop that he made at the canal is exactly where the ruler of the suspect is. So obviously that was my first point of interest. But now I've mapped a couple of other points. We know that there is an interesting 2 points of interest between Burleigh and Twin Falls. They believe there's something that they don't know. I've found a couple of spots, and I'm going to zoom in on that now based on the chart that you saw and everything that I've looked at today really closely. So bear with me while we zoom in, have a look and see the landscape and the new areas and the areas I would be looking 100% if I was there. So across Milner Lake and Snake River, etc., going upwards, the first point that I have here that is beyond Burleigh is a stop that he made. Now, the chart points directly to that, but it also goes very close nearby here. So let's have a look at where he stopped. I don't know, like obviously not in the middle. I'm not really 100% sure where here on this, must be this side. Anyway, that's okay, locationary wise. So this is the line that is going across here, and that, I mean, if you can get into this area, this spot actually really piqued my interest. Even though the line's over here, it crossed this road perhaps that leads to this area that I am very interested in knowing what it is, and I think it should be searched. I would. So that's a teeny little spot, but near the area where he apparently stopped his car. So that's that line going through, but also just a little bit off. It really caught my attention there. That's off the I-84. Okay, here was the next area that he stopped. Oh, that's the canal stop. Now, the thing that was amazing and interesting to me is that the canal, well, I didn't realise it was a man-made dam. So I was going downwards to have a look, seeing which way things were going, and saw the dam here, and saw that the water is going this way, that way. So I was thinking, if she was put in this canal, which I just don't know if that could be the case, if she was and there was movement, it would have moved right back around to where the dam is, one would think. Now, the problem is that this lake, it goes all, you can't see it here, but it goes all the way up. Anyway, I won't focus on the lake. Let's go to the next spot. The spot that I said yesterday, this area, the 93 and the 84. Something's happened here. He's turned around, he's done something here. So this is definitely of interest. This intermax section, I'm not sure what it's called. I know somebody told me on my comments. I apologize. Now, that's interesting to me because it also leads to the edge, which was the 22, which is very much alongside this bliss rest area place that he went to. So when I zoom in on that one, okay, so he's in here for some reason, one side or the other. It actually shows 2 points, one side and the other. So I have to wonder whether he's gone down here, in here somewhere, where these crossroads are, off of 26. Because when there's a cross section and it's very close to an actual section that is of interest, it needs to be looked at. I'd also be checking this old US 30 road here. Now, when we go a little further, we start getting back into Snake River here. So it's interesting to me that Snake River starts way back and ends up 220 miles out. I don't know the rivers and creeks and the lake systems over there, so I really am guessing and only using maps to do it. But I'm really feeling that there's a lot of stuff in water or near water and just off the road. Just 2 lines that were representative by Joshua, and I should show you this as well actually. This one here, when he went to one of the dump sites, or one of the dumps, the ruler of him was in modern rulership Uranus, which was on the 8th house at 22 degrees again, but also Jupiter, which was the ruler of him to start with, is right there, and then the actual ruler of him is Saturn, which is basically him holding on to a body. That's how that appears to me. So based on this chart and a whole lot of others, we're using this 22, this Jupiter, the Aquarius, so the whole area that I've looked at, this is including that. Now, even though it's off the roads, it goes through Twin Falls, and it is Snake River, Niagara Springs State Park. 2 lines go through this area here in Snake River. I'm going to zoom in. There's a so the water's going this way. This area here, I don't know the capability of him getting there in terms of the GPS, but I certainly can't ignore lines like that double up really closely and go through a river that starts way back here. Because when we have a look, Snake River over here. So it's not a coincidence to me that it starts where the GPSs are, where the chart begins and finishes where the chart ends, basically. Let's see, this line goes through Snake River, across the Route 30, adjacent to the 84, and then goes to the rest stop. So, you know, it's pretty amazing. After the rest stop, this road here goes still very closely adjacent to Snake River here. Look, I know I'm giving lots of areas, but if I was to just nail down a few areas, it would be these closest to the river, the crossing points. I mean, that falls in where he was. And down here, all the areas where it's crossing through Snake River. So anyway, look, that I'll leave it at that for now. It was just a bit of an extension of yesterday's one. I wanted to focus a little bit more on those specific areas and show the area near this one. How I saw that the canal was sort of associated with the dam. See, Snake River goes through all of here. I really think that that's an important part of it. Snake River. I believe that something will be, or at some point we will find out that Snake River is something to do with it. But putting her in a canal seems risky and strange, actually, to me. So yeah, I'm not sure whether he actually would have put her in a canal or whether something was just thrown off the side, a piece of evidence, more likely than her herself. I actually think that it is more likely that I believe that some of her body could be up here, but I also think that he disposed possibly of some down here in those dumpsters. Such a sick person, but thankfully not alive to move her. So if she's in any of these locations, if I can give more specific locations, please contact me. And next we will move forward and do some more charts on the rest of the awful case of the Powells. Okay, thanks guys, bye.